from the potential loss of oxygen to the brain while his heart had stopped and had to be revived twice on the field. And there he is, looking normal, looking like the football player that he was last year for the Bills. And it's a great story. It's
amazing.
A great turnaround. It's a great inspiration. We talked earlier in the week about how his involvement in distributing AEDs with all the millions that were given to his foundation while he was fighting for his life, literally. Those AEDs will save lives. The awareness of his struggle will save lives, already has saved lives, will continue to do so. Everyone is aware now of the AED. You see an event like that, where's the AED is the first thing people will be saying because of what we all learned through his experience. And the fact that he's on track to play really is amazing. It's unexpected, and it just makes a great story even better.
It does. It's an amazing story. I mean, I'm rooting for him, but I can't lie to say that I'm not nervous a little too. Like, aren't you nervous a little? I don't even know the science behind it, but I'm like, are we sure he's supposed to be out there this quickly? Are we sure? I mean, and again, I'm rooting for him. I know, but I know people went through that with my injury there. When it's a serious injury like that, you're like, wait, can this happen again? And I don't think it can, but I do worry for him a little bit, and I'm also extremely happy he's out there playing.
The condition that they assume caused his cardiac arrest, commotio cordis, a sudden blow to the chest that causes the heart to stop, it is extremely rare, and it can happen in theory to anyone.
Right.
But when you have someone to whom it's already happened, it's naturally going to make people nervous about whether he's got some predisposition to it.
Exactly.
Because, yes, it's very rare, but it's happened to him.
Yeah.
So that's where if he was my son and he's younger than my son, I would be very nervous about it every day that he's in a position to sustain any contact. And no matter how many times he takes a helmet to the chest plate of his shoulder pads, no matter how many times that happens, my own heart is going to skip a beat every time it occurs. How can it not? How can it not? Because it's already happened to this person. So it does create an extra level of anxiety and curiosity. And I think as football fans, we'll get used to it, but will it ever completely go away? This is the first time there's ever been a guy who fits in this category. I think for as long as he plays, there's always going to be, when we see number 3 Buffalo Bills or whatever other team he may eventually play for, there's always going to be in the back of our minds that concern that, yes, lightning struck, and it's very rare, far more rare than lightning, but this is a guy that it happened to. How do we know it won't happen again? I mean, we're human. How can we set that aside and just focus on, he's fine?
Yeah, no, I know, and it's I think we've all had those with serious injuries. We all have those moments, right? Like Pete even got in my ear. He's like, remember Alex Smith with his broken leg and all that, and he got back, and Aaron Donald was on his back. So it might just be one of those where we got to see him get hit and hit somebody a few times, and then we all go, okay, hey, he's good. He's a football player again. Okay, boom. And I think that'll go a long way, probably for him and all of us once we watch him play.
Yeah, and it's coming. Training camp will be here before we know it. We'll see him in the preseason. We'll see him in the regular season. Week 1, Monday Night Football, taking on the New York Jets. And what an ovation he'll get, even in New York, as in New Jersey, not New York. In New York, it would be fine. He'd be the home team. In New Jersey, he's the road team. But I'm sure he'll get a great ovation from the fans at MetLife Stadium that night when he runs out on the
field. How come New York's
the
only the New York team's the only one that gets that, but there's so many teams that don't actually play in the city, that they claim, right?
At least they play in the state.
Okay, so it's the state. They get it? Okay, all right.
I think state lines is where it becomes an issue. I know it's always an issue for the feds. I think it should be an issue for the fans, too.
Right, okay, all right, that's cool.
When you cross state lines.
I mean, what I would want to say is, I know we cross state lines, but I would want to say is, MetLife Stadium's closer to New York City than the Dallas Stadium is to Dallas. That's what I would challenge on that. That's all I'm saying.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.